Now, speaking of the G20, one of the events was held in Kashmir, and it has had quite an impact. Officials say it has boosted tourism in Kashmir, so much so that it's poised to break all records. We are only in the month of August, and more than 1.2 crore tourists have visited Kashmir. It is back on the global tourism map. There was a time when the valley was a paradise for visitors. Bollywood films were shot in Kashmir. Foreign tourists flocked in big numbers. But violence and terrorism sponsored by Pakistan drove people away in the last few decades. Our next report tells you about the turnaround.
Tourism in Kashmir is back with a bang. After a few years of turmoil, visitors are flocking to the scenic mountains again. In 2021, over 11 million tourists went to Kashmir. And the upward push continued last year. Now, we don't have official data from 2022 yet, but Kashmir's Lieutenant Governor Manoj Sinha says almost 19 million tourists went to Kashmir last year. That would make 2022 the best year for tourism in Kashmir so far. And there's good news in store. That number is set to be eclipsed this year. According to officials, Kashmir has seen almost 13 million tourists already this year. And we're barely in August. Kashmir is aiming high. It has set itself a target of more than 20 million tourists by the end of this year. The numbers show that it's well on its way. So, how has the administration pulled this off? Well, it has taken a multidimensional approach. One way is promoting Kashmir tourism aggressively. The government has been setting up stalls across India to encourage visitors. It has been showcasing the beauty of Kashmir and reminding people that militancy has fallen, so Kashmir is safe to visit. While that's an old school tactic, tried and tested, there has been some out-of-the-box thinking as well. One of the new strategies has been expanding the area for tourism. Kashmir's Tourism Secretary recently announced 300 new spots that will be promoted as tourism destinations. This includes area in the Kashmir Valley and also in the Jammu region. Last weekend, the Lal Draman Hill Station in the Doda region of Jammu saw a 2-day mega tourism festival. Since these places aren't too frequented, different forms of tourism can be promoted. Things like homestays or even adventure tourism. These activities have the government's backing. And of course, nothing showed the Modi government's dedication to Kashmiri tourism like the recent G20 tourism meet. India held this summit in picturesque Srinagar. This is how the delegates were greeted.
You've seen for yourself, and this is an opportunity for you to see with your own eyes what it's all about. Jammu Kashmir has moved on, the common man has moved on.
Every effort was made to show that Kashmir is ready for tourists. When he says moved on, he means from terrorism. Kashmir has borne the brunt of Pakistan's misadventures, which obviously made tourists wary. But it's now turning over a new leaf.
We've had about 18.8 million tourists in 2022, which is the highest ever in the last 3 decades. Highest ever in 2022. 18 million. We expect this number to keep going up in a very big way.
The number of foreign tourists in Kashmir is up to 18,000 already this year, the highest in the last 3 decades. Last year, the number was at about 4,000. So that's a 4.5 time increase. And the year's not even over yet. So the tourism boom, or shall we say bloom, in the Kashmir Valley looks more than just seasonal.